Unihertz Titan 2 Elite. This is going to be Unihertz upgrade to the Titan 2, and it does get more compact. That's why I'm calling this one the Compact QWERTY Beast. If you watched my review last year on the Titan 2, you would have seen that this is a pretty interesting proposition, bringing the QWERTY keyboard to the Android ecosystem over here, kind of giving you nearly like a BlackBerry experience. And they've improved it once again by bringing some nice spec upgrades and something that's even more compact and more enjoyable to use on the day-to-day than the original version. So you can see here on the Kickstarter page, which I am going to link here in my review down below in the description, it's a Titan 2 Elite, the 5G keyboard phone you've been waiting for. This thing already has over 7,500 backers with over $3 million pledged to this. So this thing is definitely, there's a lot of interest in it. Let's just put it that way. A lot of people want a QWERTY keyboard phone, and because of you backers, this phone has been made available. And I would like to thank Unihertz for sending this out for review. And you can see right here, here's some of the key specs this thing comes with. A 4050 milliamp hour battery on the Titan 2 Elite here. You will get an OLED display on this phone. You're also going to get yourself a programmable button that's going to be found on the right side. You also do get the aluminum chassis on here, which makes it feel nice, and it has that orange color that just pops. So definitely, you can get it in black as well, but definitely this color is the one to go with. You'll also get a dual 50 megapixel camera on the rear with NFC on board. This thing also does have a SIM card slot, so it's not eSIM over there like some phones where you can only use eSIM. Right there, you do have yourself the USB-C, and this thing has Android 16 and many years of upgrades and updates. So this thing is an awesome new entry, I think, to the marketplace. And I do think that if you're looking for something like this with a QWERTY keyboard that also is touchpad enabled as well, you can actually swipe with this keyboard. And you thought last year's version was just too big to be a comfortable phone on the day-to-day. This is one that you should give real serious interest to, because this phone right here is unlike any other phone on the market. This thing feels like the BlackBerry of today, but with Android OS, which makes it much more powerful and much more things you can do with it. So you can even see right here, you can use the keyboard to scroll on this Titan 2 Elite, which is really kind of enjoyable. Your brain just is like, this is something different, because you're used to using your finger to scroll with everything. However, one of the cons of these styles of phones is that you do actually have a lot of scrolling you have to do because of the shape of the screen. So these are actually better for like typing messages and emails and even looking at some spreadsheets because of the width of the screen. But there is a lot more scrolling. So for media heavy users, this is not the one, but that's a good thing, because if you want a phone that stops taking over your life day to day in terms of distracting you, this could be one of the better options out there for sure. So here's some of the features. You have the scroll assistant, the cursor assistant, so you can use as a mouse mode as well. You can use universal shortcuts on here, and we'll showcase a few of those later. But one of the nice upgrades is the AMOLED display. You're going to see it immediately if you had the Unihertz one. It's just so much nicer to have an OLED display. It feels more like a premium phone at this current time with having this. So everything looks colorful and vibrant. It is 401 pixels per inch, and it has 2160 hertz dimming. So it's not a super eye straining inducing display, even though it's small. You would think, well, OLED small display, I'm already looking at a smaller screen. Is it going to strain my eyes? The answer is no. It simply doesn't, and it supports 100% of the DCI-P3 color gamut. So essentially what that means is that the colors are rich and accurate, and you don't have to worry about having inaccurate colors. You're going to see there's different ways you can change this display. So yeah, we have always on display, but I think I went past it. It was the first one. Color scheme. You can put it on vivid, and it looks ultra vivid in that mode. You can also put it in standard. You can use a user mode where you tweak the saturation, the contrast, the picture brightness to the level you want. You can even change the sharpness of the panel as well if you think it doesn't look sharp enough for you. I tend to leave it in standard for reviews, but you'll see right here they have a blue light defender, dynamic contrast for the video, so video will appear more brighter and stuff like that. So yeah, quite a nice display for being in a QWERTY phone. This is one of the best I've ever seen on a QWERTY phone, maybe ever. So definitely I like that for this phone. So earlier I said it's not eSIM only. I didn't mean it doesn't have eSIM though. It does have eSIM. It has actually multiple SIMs you could have on here. You could even have 2 active lines. I was saying though that you aren't subjected to only using eSIM. You do have a SIM card tray as well, which I think is pretty neat, as some phones are starting to go away from that. You can also choose to get the Elite Pro if you want a little bit more storage on board, but they did not skimp on the RAM. Both of them have DDR5 12 GB of RAM, which is kind of costly in 2026 with the RAM shortages going on. But you also get a better Dimensity 8400 CPU on the Pro. For this type of phone though, I don't think it matters which one you go with. You're pretty much gonna win either way, because it does have kind of the same type of performance for most day-to-day tasks either way you go. And they are supporting for 5 years, and the battery in here is a silicon carbon, so that's also a newer technology. So overall, you know, the phone itself is definitely interesting, and the reason why is because there's just nothing like it out there. So if you go over here and scroll down, click on change wallpaper. Let's go ahead and click on that. We'll click over here. As we scroll through here, just a lot of nice wallpapers that don't have no ads in them, and you could just really fine tune and find one you like for yourself. I know it seems like a small point, but some phones don't come with nice wallpapers. I just wanted to mention that. Just had to go ahead and mention that and see what else we have. We have shortcut keys, which will show you what you can do there, different functions. And I mean, you can go to town. You can function key most of these things, and then you'll have like little shortcuts to do whatever you want. So that's just really a cool feature for this one, and it's specific to this one. You also have an intelligent assistant, and of course you're going to get the Gemini on here just like other Android phones as well. I don't have it enabled at this moment, but you'll be able to get Gemini on here as well. This red key, and program it to anything you want, kind of like an action button on an iPhone. So pretty cool there. And then we go to security and privacy. It's going to be your standard Android security that is on board. And they show you some different gestures. But what I really notice is that the phone itself is rather simple. It's kind of like a simple software with a QWERTY keyboard, and it runs your apps. There's not much else to talk about. And you might even like this more than the Titan 2, because last year, while this phone was also pretty cool, to say the least, what happened was it's kind of like big, and it's like not super comfortable to put in the pocket. Also, you have this screen on the back, which can be a little distracting. It's kind of cool that you can leave it there, but I like that this upgrade kind of gives you more of a pocketable, real world like type of phone you would actually want to just slip in a pocket. Honestly, the feel almost reminds me of like a Game Boy or something. It's just a really small, easy to hold experience. I also think if you were to play like some emulator games on here, it would look pretty sick, because this shape almost reminds me of like a Game Boy display. Also, coming from the Unihertz Titan 2, you'll see right there that we don't have a like bezel-less display basically, so the camera was housed up there. But they also had this Unihertz logo up here, which I didn't love too much, and they actually went away from that, which makes this phone look a lot cleaner. A lot of people won't even know the brand. They'll just say, what phone is that? It's a nice little phone you got there, and it's going to be a conversation piece. But you'll see they went away from those thick, chunky bezels. Now they have this minimal bezel here, which is nice, but the camera is on the screen. However, on here, I don't really care too much because it's off to the left, first of all, and I'm not going to be consuming a ton of media on this device. I will consume some, but not a ton. And if I want a bigger screen, I'm just going to go to something that I don't have interruptions on. And this phone is going to give me a really nice photo without being a big deal with having like a thick bezel. So I don't mind the camera there overall. And the front facing camera is pretty solid. But what's really nice is the rear camera. So looking at the actual camera, it produces really sharp photos. So for a phone, you would think, oh, that's just a keyboard phone. That camera's going to not be good. You'd be wrong. This camera is actually very good. It's very usable, and definitely I wouldn't say it's flagship level, but it's definitely beyond basic for sure. Basic software, but better than basic results. I've seen some phones that cost more than this that have worse cameras. So I do like that. You can also put on a super resolution mode, but if you're looking for more pro-like features, you're going to have to download like a third-party camera app, because what they're providing here with the camera app is pretty basic, besides this included simple pro mode where you can just change EV, white balance, ISO, you know the drill, the basics. Other than that, it's not too much going on in here. If you go to edit though, you can add a few more features, and then there are some camera settings over here. If you go off to the top left, You'll have a self timer, some ratios you can put on grid lines, and you could change the key modes as well. But overall, I'm going to say it straight up. For what this is, the cameras are plenty sharp enough, and I do like them. I also like the design of the camera. It sticks off the body a little bit, but it's actually pretty clean, and it matches up nicely with the back of this phone. So let's take a quick look at the body a little bit closer. I want to give you some more details of the phone in case you want to back the project and get yourself one of these when they do launch in June. So you'll see right here, that's the back. They do have Unihertz logo on there in a nice location, just like on most other phones. They kind of like put it in the glass just like this. So this looks very flagship in that sense. On the right side, you'll see some antenna lines. We also have our programmable key right here, power button, and the power button is literally in the perfect location. I love this location of the power button. It's also doubling as a fingerprint sensor, which is one of the best ways to unlock a phone. Point blank. You just gotta love it. You know, you just tap your finger there and it's just reliable at all times. I do like that. You can also face unlock with that camera. Not as secure as that fingerprint though, but still relatively secure. You'll see right here, we do have that red button. And then over here on the top, you do have an IR blaster as well. So you can control TV and stuff like that. Speaker grill right there. Off to the left side, we do have ourselves some more antenna lines. There are about 3 on this side as well, with a volume rocker, which is also in a solid location. I mean, you could easily just wrap your index finger over there, move them around, and talk about ergonomics. This thing is smooth in the corners and buttons are in great locations. And even the keyboard is easy to swipe things with one hand. This also does have backlighting keyboard on this QWERTY keyboard as well. And you'll see, unlike on the original Titan 2, they actually brought the home button and all that stuff down here to the bottom. So you'll have to use your left thumb to get to that a little bit more, but you'll get used to it. Yeah, you kind of like that. I kind of like these big buttons over here, but still, you know, putting it in this smaller form factor has made it portable and kind of more what you would want for the day-to-day. You'll see the camera right there. It does have like this little protector of it. I haven't taken it off. You'll see NFC, the flash right there, your 250 megapixels on the camera. And overall, you know, this just pops in this orange. So if you're going to get one, I would say go with the orange. So here is the box. It's just a simple white box. That's why I didn't really do no unboxing here. You do get a SIM card tool. You'll see Titan 2 Elite user guides in there. And let's go ahead and pull this out. That's this little paper that came on the phone, nothing serious. You'll get yourself a charging brick inside the phone and a charger right here to go ahead and charge the device. Now, if you look at the back, they also do showcase the specifications, which you don't see often on phones these days on the boxes anymore, but this one does. You'll see right there, octa-core CPU, 50 megapixel plus 32 megapixel front camera and 50 megapixel telephoto, which is a good inclusion. Telephotos are really nice to have. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at how a video looks on here. So here we are on one of my older videos, and you'll see sometimes I'm not able to actually stretch that video out. But definitely you'll be able to see the comments and stuff like that and comment with the QWERTY keyboard. However, YouTube is a little bit compacted on here. So if you're watching a lot of YouTube videos, might not be your favorite option, but you'll still be able to get the job done on this device. And also it still has the pop view window, so you can still multitask and things of that sort. But also I want to quickly talk about the actual keyboard itself. So let's go ahead and open a new text field here. And you'll see that this is how the keyboard looks. You can actually swipe like this to turn the keyboard light on. You're not going to see it here because it's already bright in here. But you can see they have like these little angles on there that allow you your thumbs to kind of know where you're at. But if you're used to a QWERTY keyboard, this is going to be pretty easy. This is pretty easy and tactile to type with. I think a lot of you are going to love it. It's just very satisfying to like click keys and kind of like, no, that's the X button. It's going to be pretty tactile. And I think it's a great little keyboard right there. It is a little bit more cramped than the previous Titan 2, but it's solid nonetheless. A couple other things I want to talk about is the battery life. It lasts all day. It's a pretty much an all-day phone. It even will showcase your battery health for you as intelligent charging options. It's a 4,000 plus on a 4-inch screen. What do you expect? It's going to be great. So it will also adapt to you over time, just like most other Android devices. So it does get better as you use it. And it just never really needs a charge throughout a day. So it's a day phone. It can do a little bit more if you're a lighter user, like you're not like heavy using, just sitting in your pocket. This could potentially stretch into a day and a half, 2 days. But for most people, this is going to be a full day phone usage. So I do like that with this one. And the last thing I want to talk about is performance. I actually did test out some games and stuff. It was great. I mean, the thing that's not great about it though is the screen is not really optimized nicely for games. While a lot of them are fitting in here pretty nice, like Subway Surfer City that you're seeing right here. Overall, the games like these Call of Duties and these widescreen games, some of them actually don't fit properly. And while you can technically play the game, this is where it falls short. And I mean, that's the sacrifice though. Like, you're not going to be able to ever make this form factor with it being a great gaming experience. It's just not what it's here to do. But if you do want to get some gaming done, it is possible. So, but I do think if you're looking for gaming mostly, I wouldn't pick this phone. You don't pick this phone for that. You pick it for the QWERTY experience. You pick it for the compact experience. It's excellent at that. So pick it for what it's good at and use it for what it's good at, and you're going to be a very happy person right here. So back to when this launches. We're right now in April, so they're getting all the certifications pretty much done. Trial production and mass production will begin in May, and then we'll have a launch in the June of this year. But if you want the Pro version, that's going to come later in October. So this is a very early review of this phone. But I gotta say that it's looking pretty good. Some of the challenges with this is that this is a small company, so it could potentially get delayed if there's manufacturing issues or anything like that. But if you're really interested, I would consider backing it, because not just because they sent it, but because this phone, I'm telling you, I've used a lot of phones. I use iPhones, Android. You've seen my videos. We cover the tech game. It's interesting. It's a different feel, and if it's something that you like, for being such a smaller company, I'm not going to say lesser, a smaller company, they've made a pretty nice product here overall. And while the Titan 2 was pretty cool as well, I called it the QWERTY Beast last year, this phone still feels awesome. It feels a little bit more like a trial. Like, let's see if this thing would actually succeed. And because of the success of this one, we see the Elite, which feels kind of like another generational leap for this brand right here and for the Titan series. This thing feels like they just took it up to the refinement level that they just didn't have on the previous version, which was really nice. But man, this thing feels like a whole nother ball game. But I will say one thing: if you like the thicker, brickier feel of the Titan 2, yeah, you like the bigger, wider keyboard, and you just like this girth of the original one, you might not love the Titan 2 Elite. But if you were like, this thing is too big, it's time for something actually usable and more portable and comfortable in the hand, this is something else. And this is definitely a conversation starter. So that's my review on the Titan 2 Elite. You might have noticed my voice has been overwhelmingly positive. It's not just because they had sent this phone to me. I am grateful for that, but it's because I get excited when products feel different and they feel like they're making generational leaps. And I feel like this feels like that. It feels different and like they made a massive leap over the original one. Whether that's a good or bad thing is up to you to decide. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thumbs up if you enjoyed. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe, because the more of you that watch this and support this video, when they make the Titan 3 and they continue on this journey, we'll be able to potentially cover more. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.